It's time for Chat with Chuck, live from Windsor, California, discussing stuff on Chuck's mind, life, attitudes, and stuff. And now, your host, Chuck the DJ.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you. Jimbo Slice Chicago out there, battling the heat today. Jim, I cannot imagine what you're going through. We do occasionally get warm here out in California, but I don't think we get kind of what you guys are getting out there in Chicago. So hopefully, like you say, you jumped in the pool and you went through a car wash to stay cool. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes to whoops, let's do that again here. Whatever it takes to stay cool, back out there on the East Coast, or I don't know how far back that is stretching. If it's all East Coast or if it's um, you know Midwest. I don't know. You like the cold over the hot. Well, I think it's easier to get warm Midwest only. I think it's easier to get warm than it is to get cool. If you're in the cold, you can turn the heater up or you can put extra clothes on. But trying to get cool, you take all your clothes off, you run around the house naked. That's what I do. That's what I do. I scare the neighbors because we have all our windows open, all our blinds are wide up, and I just run around. I just run around naked to stay cool. So that's kind of what I do. But how's everybody doing today? Happy Tuesday. It is a wonderful Tuesday, last day of June here in wonderful California. Let's see. What am I trying to do here? I am trying to turn something off, and I am looking on my Stream Elements here, and I cannot find it. Check it out. I don't know where it went. I'm not going to worry about it at this point. So welcome. Yeah, Mr. Latin House subscribers on. How you doing, Mr. Mr. Latin House? Running around naked too? Yay! That's another frightening thing. The visual. Uh, if you know Mr. Latin House, if you've seen him on the screen, in your mind right now, in your mind, I want you to picture both myself and Mr. Latin House naked running around your house. Are you still with me? Okay, cool. So I missed something in the chat. What are you guys talking about? No subscribers already. Look, I mentioned naked. Thank you, Jimbo, for bringing that. Yeah, I forgot I had that emote up there. Free views on. You go to our OnlyFans page, and you get all the good photos, all the good photos of me and Mr. Latin House. Good morning. It was Deep Sounds Dispatches. It was 89 or 99 degrees yesterday. Where are you, Deep Sound Dispatches? Welcome in, first time chatter, by the way. What part of the country or world are you in, Jimbo? Mr. Jimbo says I can use a fan only fan. Mr. Lattenhouse, weather for Chicago. Currently 95 degrees. The wind is blowing from south southwest. Oh my gracious! Humidity is 51 degrees. Yeah, it's currently 79 degrees here and sunny in Northern California. So it is not bad. It is not bad. I was my events this past weekend were both outside, and it was very comfortable, very nice. Mr. Lattenhouse heat index is 111, 111. My bowling scores. That's when I went bowling. I think I rolled a 111. Impressive, isn't it? But yeah, that's frightening. That's um, we're not cold weather people. My wife and myself, we don't like snow. It's pretty to look at, but we have no desire to go visit the snow and all that kind of stuff. You know, um, but the heat on that other end, that is um, Lithuania. Wow. Well, welcome in worldwide. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. I'm not really sure how you found us, but I'm glad you did. I have been off for a few weeks. It has been very busy around here and at the house, and so I've taken the last couple Tuesdays, maybe three actually Tuesdays off with chat with Chuck. But today I'm here, and honestly, to tell you the truth, I wasn't sure I was going to go on today. My wife and I were talking about it, and she said, "Are you going to go on? You going to do your chat with Chuck today?" I was, nobody was knocking on my door saying, "Hey, where's Chat with Chuck?" the last couple of weeks, so I really didn't know. But I got off the phone. I had an hour phone call with a good buddy of mine, DJ Blast. He's in New York now, Bud. But met DJ Blast when we moved to Maui, and he was a huge inspiration when I lived on Maui. When my wife and I we moved to Maui, and so I was going to talk a little bit about him, which is why I'm wearing my Monterey kind of Maui shirt here today in honor of DJ Blast. But as I was talking to Blast, um, it's 2:06 a.m. middle of the night or early morning, depending on how you look at it. It's 4:00, 4:06 in the afternoon here. And when I was talking to Blast, we just got off the phone about 20 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago, right before the show, and we were talking about his big move. He was raised on Maui, and he was the king of DJs on Maui. He was the king of DJs on Maui, and uh, uh, but New York always called to him. He was a hip hop guy, scratcher, mixer, hipologist. You know, he dreamed of moving to New York and making it there, right? So when he was 47, him and he uprooted his wife and left the kids because the kids were out of school now, out of high school. They graduated, and chased his dream, and moved to Maui. Excuse me, moved to New York from Maui. And we were talking today, and what we realized was that I did the same thing when I was 47. My wife and I decided that we would uproot our Northern California, been here all our life, and move to Maui, and try to make it there on Maui, which we did for 9 years, almost 9 years. And so I was talking to Bud, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I've DJ'd in all the boroughs now. He's been in clubs and done weddings and kind of parties, and he's chased his dream. The cool thing that I got from our hour long conversation was a number of things, but the really cool thing was that, you know what, he chased his dream at 47 years old. He chased his dream, and as I had chased mine when I was 47 to Maui. But he, went to New York, uprooted himself and his wife, and moved to New York. Didn't have any connections, threw himself out there, got some things, and that's exactly right what Jimbo Slice Chicago is saying in the chat right now. You are never too old to chase your dreams. And if you get nothing from any of my conversations on Chat with Chuck, chasing your dreams at whatever age, because, and we're going to touch bases on some of this in a little bit because we've had some friends, but you don't want to be in that position of losing your health and looking back on your life and going, damn, you know, I should have gone to Hawaii, or I should have gone to New York, or I should have. It doesn't even have to be a big dream, but chase it, go for it, because, you know, in the scheme of things, what have you got to lose, really? You know, I mean, I understand. There are certain things, like, like Bud waited till his kids were gone. So there wasn't that responsibility. His kids were kind, they were set. They had it. Mr. Lattenhouse, I'm chasing a 70 under. Is that a golf thing? No, I don't know. But that was, that is so important. And um, what do they say? You know, when you're on your deathbed, you look back on the things uh, that you should have done as regret. You know, and you don't want to regret. Yeah, I got that. Okay, you don't want to regret that. Now, I'm only going to touch bases on this a little bit because it's still a little raw, a little new. Those of you, some of you that might know this, that um, I just found out on Sunday. It was a couple days ago, but apparently she had passed a couple days before that. But we had a Lady J on Twitch. She used to coordinate and run the monthly Prince Raid Train. And herding cats. We've talked about raid trains before. Is not an easy job. Is not a fun. Well, I guess it can be fun, but it's definitely not an easy job of running a raid train and getting it going, as Mr. Lattenhouse will know. Salami, how you doing? Yeah, she was a landmark mod. She was a wonderful individual. I didn't know her as well as a lot of people. I was kind of new to her circle. Um, but Sunday we had a Prince Raid train, and uh, a couple days before, all of a sudden we're like, hey, you know, Lady J. I mean, you know, we had a couple spots that weren't filled. What's, you know, you know, we hadn't heard from her. We hadn't heard from her. We hadn't heard from her. Um, oh, you didn't say landmark to that. I said, well, but a landmark mod is a good terminology, Salami. Take credit for it. Um, we didn't know at that time what had happened, and we didn't find out until after the stream. I was the caboose on the raid train. I didn't find out until after the train that she had passed, and she had been battling, you know, the big C. Apparently, she'd been having some cancer thing. Again, I don't know all the details, so I don't want to, you know, get too deep into it. Um, but so there were some battles there that we didn't know about, and we lost her. She passed, and you know, she was she was so supportive of myself, and would go out of her way for me, and you know, Chuck the Diva DJ wanting to be the caboose on the trains and making sure that I could have that spot, and da 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 da. Someone said she didn't want anyone to know because she wanted them not to feel sad for her. There was one DJ in our group that apparently knew. She had sworn him to secrecy, so yeah, she was, you know, um, he didn't say anything, so we didn't know. It would have been, excuse me, it would have been it would have been nice to know that she had passed before the raid train, because I think I think the raid train um, would have taken on a whole nother vibe. I think it would have been um, uh, a memorial celebration of her life, which we're going to plan to do next month at the end of July on the normal day for the raid train happen. I knew Mr. Lattenhouse. I knew that she was going through some health issues, which she had told me that, but I didn't know how deep or how long, how hard, how bad it was. Um, Deep South says sometimes comfort zones are stopping from getting to the greatest dreams. Yes, I going back to the dream things. Yeah, you're comfortable. You know where you're at. Everything's cool. You're like, I don't want to mess that up, and you don't want to, you know, maybe take that leap. It's a leap of faith for that dream, um, and uh, but that goes back to the, yes, like what Jimbo Slices said. You know, damn, you just never know. You never know. You don't. Um, you know, my wife and I joke sometimes. Well, it's kind of a sick joke, but we kind of, well, you know, let's go do this. Well, we probably should. We probably should save. Yeah, but we could get hit by a bus tomorrow. You know, because you don't know. You know, um, and that goes back to the, you know, wanting to chase that dream. You know, and then what it also brings in to my mind when I heard about this last night or Sunday night was, um, Hack, how you doing? You only live once. Yes, YOLO. The the stuff that you think is important that isn't crap. Um, really, I mean, um, the arguments that you have, the discussions, the differences, the drama. that seems to permeate our life sometimes, maybe even here on Twitch or just life in general. And if you stop and you think about it for a moment or two, that crap doesn't mean anything, right? Since we're here on Twitch, you know what? I mean, in the scheme of things, in the scheme of your life, what is Twitch really? I mean, we enjoy it. We have a good time. I play music. I enjoy it. You all are watching streamers, or you're watching me, or you're supporting, or whatever. I mean, it's great. We enjoy it. But the reality of it, it doesn't mean shit. As upset and as angry and as mad and as annoyed as some people get on the goings on Twitch, think about it, right? L- Lady J passed away, and exactly, Jim, exactly. It's just not worth it, you know. Um, yeah, there was some drama going on recently within my show, on Twitch, but I not that I was the center of it, but there was some stuff going on with some people in the chat, um, uh, not being who they were really say they were being. There was some drama going on, and it was sad. Some people called it catfishing, which I'm not even sure I still understand what that is, but um, uh, I lost two mods and some friends over this, right? Because of my stand on these individuals that were saying who they were, but they weren't really, and you know, but whatever. I don't what you really want to get into, but um, in the scheme of things, what does it matter? Really, what does it matter? You know, Lady J passed away. Um, One of my closest friends on Maui, my buddy Alan, pancreatic cancer, and he went in on Monday, yesterday, um, to have the tumor removed. That's the topic for next week. I don't know if I want to get a whole into that if you're talking about the thing there. But my buddy Alan found out he had cancer a few months back. Did the chemo thing. They want to shrink the tumor so they could go in. They could take the tumor out, right? Went in yesterday for the surgery because it got down to a certain size, I guess, you know. And they got in there and realized they can't take it out, and it had spread, right? Sewed him back up, sent him back home. I talked to him yesterday after the fact, and or this morning actually, and you could hear in his voice he had such a positive attitude going through this. You know, I'm going to beat this. We got a golf thing we're doing in December. You know, it's our yearly golf getaway. Um, and um, now this, and I'm going to repeat this because for some of you know that I do take these shows and I do put them on. I have a YouTube channel that I put them on a YouTube channel. So those of you that are listening on YouTube, I do talk to the chat occasionally or comment on what the chat is saying. And in the chat, Mr. Lattenhouse said he has a friend that was told last week that they had 1 week to live and died at home yesterday from pancreatic cancer, right? And do you think that which is, I'm sorry, Mr. Lattenhouse, do you think that any of the drama that happened to be going on in their life or whatever meant crap at that point? You think that was for the forefront of their mind? No, their forefront of their mind was probably their family, their loved ones, the trying to spend time with anybody they could in their final moments, hopefully, and to be surrounded by people that they cared about and the love that was there. You know, that's what you want to center on. Um, Deep Sounds Dispatches says I spend time in a boarding house, and I'm happy that I found communities here on Twitch. And then you see deaths of the young people that shit doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't matter anymore. You know, you wonder, you worry, You have a close friend, a family member, maybe they're not even a close friend, just somebody you know, and they pass, and then you stop and you think, crap, what was the last conversation you had with them? You know, and and did it matter at all? Did 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 that argument did that argument that you had with that person matter at all, right? And if you lost that person, if you lost a friend over a stupid um, difference of opinion, uh, life, liberty, politics, religion, anything, did it matter at the last moment? Did it matter? No. You lost somebody, and and how many times have you heard a story about people that maybe had, the last thing I ever said to my dad was, XYZ, and now you've got that weight on your shoulder for your whole frickin' life, right? Um, I didn't mean to get this deep into the tangent, and I apologize for that. But it just goes to show. Um, Paul, how you doing? Paul says, I have a father who has dementia and a mom who has kidney failure, and I take care of both of them. And God, that amazing of you, because I have a one of my golfer buddies has got dementia, and I am not directly involved with him, but I know his wife and I know what she's going through, and so you know positive stuff for you. And do you think Paul is arguing, as hard as that job is of taking care of mom and dad going through what they're going through, and as frustrating and as I'm sure there are times where he just wants to pull his hair out, um, you know, that argument's not going to be there because there's more love there. And that's what's important. And that's what should be there, not the stupid argument over whatever. And so Paul, uh, sending you and your family positive thoughts and vibes. And I personally am not an oh boy, how am I going to say this without causing trouble? Um, Religion. Okay, I am not necessarily a with sanctioned religion. Was that a thing? Could I say that? Organized religion. I am not an organized religion individual, right? But I believe in a higher being. I believe in a power. I don't know what that power is, but I know that that power is out there, and part of that power um, is the power of positivity and sending thoughts and vibes. And if you want to call them prayers, you're more than happy to. And I have firsthand knowledge of this, experience of this, because um, 8 years ago, my wife was in a situation where the doctors they prepared me for death, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her, and they didn't know, and she couldn't talk, and she couldn't move, and in the hospital we were communicating by she could blink, and I was spelling words out for her, like, okay, when blink when I get the right letter, A, B, C. She'd blink, okay, C. And now, if you didn't know my wife had gone through anything, you would never know. You would never know. And the doctors still don't know. And all I can attribute it to is the people that she had in her life, her circle of dancers, and her community in the dance world, and my friends too, sending that energy to my wife, and sending those prayers and those vibes and that love to my wife. The, it's the only thing that I can say helped her, because the doctors can't tell me when they sent her down to UCSF in San Francisco from the local hospital up here, because they didn't know what to do, and even down there, uh, she came back, and she had basically had to learn to walk again, and speech therapy, and whatnot, occupational therapy, hands, all that kind of stuff, and when she got to the point that she came home and she could walk, we went to the hospital that first had her, um, and when we walked into the emergency room, and the the head emergency room doctor, I can't remember what his name was, recognized my wife, and he looked at her, and the first thing he says to her is, "You're alive." This is about 2 months after she had left that hospital. He did not expect my wife to be alive, right? And if you talk to the doctors, and they're going to be like, "We didn't do anything." So that sending, if you know somebody that's going through anything, I don't care what it is, if you can send them positive thoughts or vibes, feelings, prayers, whatever you want to call it, do it, because it helps. I believe that. Deep South says, I try remembering good things in passed away people, and everything else should be burning down the fire of the past. Yeah, remember the good times. Yeah, Mr. Lattenhouse, honest to God, or yeah, it was, and I mean, the doctors at the time were like, you know, uh, she'll never be able to walk again. She'll never be able to talk again if she even gets out of the hospital. Buy your I got the wheelchair sitting right there. Buy the wheelchair. Buy the canes. Buy the apparatuses that help her to function in life. And because that's going to be, and the term that they use, and I hate this term, that's going to be your new normal. That's going to be your new normal. Um, 7 years later, and if you did not know, my wife went through that. My wife came out of the hospital 98 pounds. If it's amazing, and I'm not really sure how. And I apologize for getting off on that tangent. Um, but it just reminds me of 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 how quickly things in your life can change, and not, an accident, like it's hit by a bus. I mean, I know that's extreme, but a sickness, illness, disease, something, you know, and it's just not worth being that upset over whatever, because you just don't know. You just don't know. Do you really want to lose a friend over some dumbass argument and finding out they passed? Or do you want them to find out that you passed and have that there? I mean, is it somebody on some of this drama that we were going through? Somebody used the term stupid arguments, and that's it. All the Lopez's, welcome in, and I'm going to read this, because again, for the people on YouTube, all the Lopez's has said, we love and appreciate our Twitch family. Thanks to our awesome Twitch DJs, our family has grown with our Twitch community, that you've all brought together. That's why follow and subscribe, donate bits. Go back up here. Sorry about that. That's why we follow and subscribe and donate bits to our Twitch DJs to show our love and appreciation. It's so sad we never met her in person. She would love it if our Twitch family honored her with a show. For all the DJs she served, her show could last weeks, if not months. Yes, Lady J. And I will tell you, Nikki. Hey, family, how you doing? the Twitch Purple DJs that normally do her stuff on the last Sunday of the month, we are planning a show for Lady J. It's going to be on the 26th of July. My only concern is that it's kind of removed. When something like this happens, when a tragedy happens, yeah, everybody jumps on it. Everybody knows about it. Everybody, da, 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 but this is going to be a month away. So right now, it's scheduled for July 26th. It'll be an all day. It'll be. I'm assuming it's probably going to still be the Prince Raid Train with the theme. There'll be about 16 of us DJs that are going to get an hour or so each, and sending that vibe and that positivity to Lady J and her family. I hope to get more information about that and about Lady J, as a whole, and I'm hoping that helps out. Deep sounds, vent up, sometimes sharing with someone's it helps. It does. A girl named Nikki Sam is supposed to do a memorial show on Monday as well. Oh, cool! I did not know that. So Sam Nation, if those of you that are on Twitch, if you're following Sam Nation, maybe if one of my moderators, if you could put a link into Sam Nation in the chat, that would be groovy. Sam is an amazing individual himself, very supportive. Most of my emotes that I have are from Sam. Sam does not charge for that. If you're a streamer and you need emotes, Sam is the cat. Mr. Latin House, thank you for putting. And speaking of which, my link for Sam Nation's emotes just popped up in the chat also. DJ Hack, thank you. Also put a link in there for Sam Nation. I still do have, even though I lost some mods, I still do have some amazing mods. I appreciate that. I have what I call some honor mods, and then I have some mods. DJ Hack is a mod. I should probably make him my lead mod since I lost my lead mod. But I don't want to put him under pressure because I know DJ Hack mods for a number of individuals. And I have what I call honor mods who, if I'm on a raid train, a lot of times I have Mr. Latin House is one of my honor mods. I gave him the mod role because I'm on Mr. Latin House's raid trains, and I feel like the person that's putting on a raid train, it's so much work and all that kind of stuff. The least you can do is make them a mod in your chat. So if they do come to your chat, you can you can give them mod duties. They can do mod stuff. But Mr. Latin House has been extremely supportive of me over the years. I've been on Twitch now. I celebrated my 5-year anniversary last November, and I've retired from Twitch. Yes, and you can ban people. I've retired from Twitch, I think 2 or 3 times, or at least 2, if not 3 or 4 times. And whenever I do retire from Twitch, it's always Mr. Latin House that grabs me and pulls me back in with one of his raid trains. In fact, going through the chat right now, it'll probably I blame you for unretirement. Mr. Latin House puts on a great, speaking of cancer, a great cancer benefit. In the chat, eventually, the link is still in my chat for the cancer benefit, for the link to donate to the cancer benefit. It should pop in there at some point in time. So if you see that, if anybody can donate to the charity for that, and if Mr. Latin House wants to talk more about that, he can put that in the chat. Excuse me while I take a drink of my Diet Dr. Pepper. We hit our goal Sunday. Was that 10,000? There's the PCA for Life.org. It's a great link and takes you right to the donation site. Anything can help. 5,000. That's right. Sorry about that. That was great. That was wonderful. We can always use more. So yeah. So Mr. Latin House is a great guy to know. If you're a streamer, if you like to do raid trains, maybe look him up. I think only are you down to the one raid train a year? Is that what you do? I'm kind of a raid train. Excuse me. I'm kind of a raid train junkie. I love raid trains. I was on one last night for ReadyBot's maker, R3, was it R3DL, something like that. I think raid trains are fun. I do. Some are better than others. Some are better organized than others. Some people on raid trains are better than others. But I think overall, raid trains are fun. We're not going to get off into a raid train rant, although I could very easily. We have done that before. Um, if I have to organize one, I can organize one in 24 hours. Let's see. What is this here? YouTube. Let's put this. Let's just drop this. Oh, there's the link that comes up. By the way, it's been coming up ever since my show. It's been coming up. I've just left it in my chat just in case anybody decides to use it. That's a link to my YouTube channel for Chat with Chuck. Not all my shows, but most of my shows I do put back on YouTube. Some of them are very informative. The one that's got the most views actually is how to keep people in your chat. If you're a streamer and you want ideas on how to keep people in your chat, it's a good one to watch. They don't always work, and because I've actually done most of the things. You bribe them. Yes, if you bribe them, they'll come in and they'll hang out. I have done most of the things that were in that show on how to keep people in your chat, and I still only average like 10 people in my chats. This show right here, my Chat with Chuck, is probably the show that I get the most viewers. And I think it's because we the Chat with Chuck didn't start out to be Twitch centric. It didn't start out to be all about Twitch. When I started Chat with Chuck, it was Chat with Chuck with wanting to chat with the Chuck, and it was about Chuck. I thought, well, yeah, we'll come about. I mean, I've been a DJ full time since 1985. My very first gig was in 1969. I've been a DJ pretty much my whole life on some levels. I thought I was an interesting dude. Apparently not. Chuck the Humble DJ, as one of my ex-mods used to call me. Now we talk a lot about Twitch, and that's obvious we talk about Twitch because we're all on Twitch. We have that common bond, right? And things that we do, things that we go through here on Twitch, there's a commonality between it. Whether it be the drama on Twitch or whether it be the good things on Twitch, we all share in that, and it's something that we can all relate to. And I think that's why my show, that's as small as it still is, and we have like 14 people right now. We had 19 at one point. I think that and probably half of those are probably bots. I don't know. But I think that's why the show is a show, because we do talk more about Twitch than we do, Chuck the DJ. I had envisioned when I started the show to be able to interview people, but for some reason I've never been able to figure out how to do that. I would love to be able to figure out how to actually get, the split screen thing and Mr. Lattenhouse on this side and me on this side, and actually talk to him. We did a couple of shows early on where we did interview DJ Ryan, who's a local DJ. He streams on Tuesdays. Actually, tonight he'll stream tonight, and Wednesday nights. And he came into the studio, and I interviewed him there. I interviewed my wife early on in the show, and then DJ Head. We interviewed DJ Head by phone. That was quite the experience. If you've never experienced DJ Head, he was quite the showstopper, to tell you the truth. But trying to get back online here. Michelle, I can talk with you about how to do that. Get a panel of DJs on Chat with Chuck. I would like, we've talked about this before too, and I don't know if Jimbo Slice is still here or not. Jimbo Slice, my technical moderator, was here early on, but I think we lost him. I would love to be able to do it, but I am not a techie guy. and my gear that I use is pretty low rent. You know, um, I don't know if we've talked about this before. And I know I see these great streamers with these great setups, and they've got you know computers and screens and all this kind of stuff that and cameras, shooting butt angles and all, I mean, all kinds of stuff, you know. And I have one computer, which is right here, which has got my DJ stuff on it. It's got the Stream Element stuff on it. It's got the OBS on it. It's got my Mix It program on it. Everything that has to do with anything with the stream is on this computer right here. I got one camera right there. I got one bar of lights up there. I do have a 42-inch screen right there, right in there, that's showing the show. That's actually my monitor when I'm watching right there. I got a backup monitor tablet down there in case that dies, which actually is you know, hanging out right there. It's oh, careful. Yeah, so that's now I scared it. Now I did it. So anyway, that's DJ Head is watching. Grey Dog, another great streamer. Mr. Dog, how you doing? And talking about and I know Grey Dog, you're in here late, but talking about people going through stuff. Grey Dog had some, and I don't want to get too deeply into it because it's I don't but Grey Dog had some health issues a while back that kept him away from Twitch. And we were talking about the fact that we lost Lady J, and we talked a little bit about my wife, who I haven't lost, but went through some health things, and my buddy Alan on Maui is going through some health things, and the power of positive, Grey Dog, of having people sending you positive energy and positive thoughts and positive vibes, the power of that, and Mr. Dog went through some stuff, and he's back. And I know personally I was sending positive stuff to Mr. Dog, as I like to call him. I don't know. I might be the only person that calls him Mr. Dog. I don't know. Maybe not. But I like calling him Mr. Dog. But Grey Dog's amazing. I mean, it came in the world, amazing supporter of a number of DJs here on Twitch. Yeah. Oh, thank you, sir. And Mr. Dog, just amazing supporter. Started streaming. He's got a fun show. So again, and I know we actually say this all the time. We say this all the time. You hear every DJ, every streamer on every stream says it all the time. Follow the DJs on the chat. Follow, when we put a link in there, we put a shout out up there. Follow the DJs. And I'm guilty. I don't always do it. I don't always follow every DJ, right? But it doesn't cost anything to frickin' hit the follow button, and especially some of the DJs that are around. I mean, you're maxed out at 2K. So you follow. You can only. I did not know that. That you can only follow 2,000 DJs or 2,000 people on Twitch. I did not know that. Wow. Okay, well, what you need to do is you need to go through you need to. Yeah, no, really, I did not know that. You need to go through and cut the dead wood. Just don't cut me. Yeah, that I know. I honestly I did not know that they had a limit. Yeah, DJ Hack is dead. DJ Hack is my mega streamer. And not only does he mod for, how many people do you mod for now? But not only does he mod for a gazillion people, he streams for hours. I mean, I call them mega streamers. You mod for seven DJs. I'm honored to be one of those 7 DJs. But he streams for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. I mean, I think there have been times where I have actually raided into DJ Hack at nighttime, gone to bed, slept, got up in the morning, had breakfast, turned Twitch on, and he's still on. Him and Dance Dance DJ Deb still on. Mega frickin' streamers. I don't know. I don't know. But God love it. Hackster. Wait, I even have a wait. Should I do this here? Look, can I do this? Where are we at here? Where's it at? Where's my DJ Hack sample? Here it is.
DJ Hack, the double duty mod is here.
Yeah, that's my DJ Hack sample that I use. And guess what? Wait a minute, I'm getting back to where I belong, so I don't screw up. That was AI. That was an AI drop, and I know that there's lots of we could almost that actually might have been a whole theme of the show of AI. You know, AI music, AI sound drops, AI. I saw somebody complaining about DJs with posters, the AI posters, how they all look the same now. All the Lopez's. To be honest, it's because of Lady J that we are part of our beautiful Twitch community. It all started during COVID. When the world was shut down, it was our Twitch family that helped us get through. Thank you, Jen. You'll always be missed and loved. All the Lopez's, as bad as COVID was, as bad as COVID was, it brought us some pretty awesome things. You can thank COVID for the DJs on Twitch, because Twitch had been around. I mean, I don't know. I really never researched. Twitch had been around for a long time, but there really wasn't home to DJs, or at least very, 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 very few DJs, until COVID kicked in. And then the DJs all of a sudden, especially a lot of us mobile DJs, such as myself, that all of a sudden we had nothing to do, right? We had no events, Twitch invented and brought out the bedroom DJ. Yeah, I mean, again, those of us, that were full-time DJs that did it for a living, all of a sudden we had no place to spin, no place nobody to play for. Twitch gave us that, right? And so and then Twitch also gave, like you were saying, the bedroom DJs, the people that maybe were in the bedroom. It gave them an avenue, and then it inspired a lot of DJs, a lot of people who weren't even DJs to DJ. Here's my favorite story, and this hits home right here because it started right here. When I came on Twitch, like say, 5 years last November, I had a guy named Michael, and he was kind of like my lead technical guy. He would help me out because he was on Maui, and he knew DJ Blast, who we talked about earlier. Bud was on Maui, and they're the ones that kind of got me started in streaming. and Mike helped me set a lot of this stuff up. And honestly, if I crashed right now, if this computer died, I would have no idea how to redo it. I can turn on, but anyway, so Mike started doing all this stuff for me. He started setting up my OBS. He started doing all this kind of stuff for me. Deep South, I know that. I spend 12 hours of my birthday at bashes. I know Mega Streams up. Yeah, that's about the only time I do Mega Streams is on my birthday. So Mike was helping me set up all this stuff, and technical stuff. I gave him remote access to the computer. He came on. He would do all kinds of stuff. So finally, I said, Mike, you're doing all this stuff. Let me send you some money. Guys, it's the least I can do. And he said, no, you know what I'd really like? I'd like some of those mashups you play, because on when I started on Tuesdays, I did a mashup show. Before I did this show on Tuesday, I did a mashup Tuesday show. So I go, well, yeah, okay. So I sent him, I don't know, 30, 40 of the mashups that I like. Are you knowing where I'm going to go with this? Are you grabbing where I'm heading? Are you feeling it? So he started liking these mashups, and so he started collecting mashups. And then all of a sudden, he started going, you know what? I'm going to stream. I'm going to play mashups because I like these mashups. If you know who Mashup Mike is, now you know where he got his start. Mashup Mike was right here. He was before he was Mashup Mike. He was just Mike the technical mod here at Chuck the DJ. Mashup Mike. He had no DJ background. He had no desire to be in a DJ. Twitch brought that out for him. Twitch gave him that avenue. Now Mashup Mike's a freaking partner, and he gets hundreds of people. I don't know about hundreds. He gets bunches of people in his shows that he does his mashup shows, and he's even moved on from that. And not only that, he's moved on into the world, into the live gig world. He's on Maui. He's doing like country nights on the show. Yeah, Lopez's Mike. Yeah, Mike and I go way back, and it's funny. I don't catch his shows because a lot of times Mike and I have this. We stream at the same time a lot of times. But when I do go into his shows or do ratings to him, he'll be the first one to get on the mic and say, "Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you," and he relates that same story. Yeah, Mike wasn't a DJ. He's a baby. He probably hasn't been DJing 4 years. But for whatever reason, whatever Mike's show is fun. It connected with people. They love his show and they've made him a partner. He's gone that far. I'm not. I'm not a partner. I'm still here. But yeah. So Mashup Mike, man, is Maui Ohana. That's he goes way back. That was fun. I dig Mashup Mike, but I still just kind of call him Mike. I don't really necessarily call him Mashup Mike anymore. So we have kind of covered a lot of area today because I didn't really have a theme for the show. And as I said earlier in the show, I didn't even know that I was gonna go on really until like 3:30. After I had my conversation with my buddy DJ Blast, and who inspired me to get on and talk about following the dream, and that it's never too late. Like for those of you that maybe weren't here earlier, he was 47 years old as a DJ on Maui. Always dreamed of making it in New York. Moved to New York, banging up job. Boom, there you go. I was 47 when I decided to move from Northern California to Maui. Bang, you're never too late. DJ Hack asking, what is ReadyBot's greatest regret? ReadyBot says, my greatest regret, not being able to do a live concert of my favorite band. Time just slipped away. Wonder who his favorite band is. Maybe is his favorite band Readies and the Bots? Paul, what a great show today. Oh, thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. There are times when, and maybe some of you will get these, and please pay attention. There are times where I have an idea for a show. A theme, and I will reach out to streamers or viewers, and I will ask you, "Hey, XYZ." For example, when we did our show about keeping people in your stream, not only did I ask streamers what they thought they were doing to keep people in their stream, I asked viewers what they need to have in a stream to stay there. So I reach out for information, for ideas, for thoughts, to help share on that kind of thing. And if you go back to my YouTube page, which I don't know if one of my mods want to put in exclamation point YouTube, I'll put the link in there for the YouTube page. And I know they're not the most exciting thing. You might want to do it maybe as you're jogging down the road or whatever. There are some great. There's shows on drama. There's shows on how to keep people in your show. There's all kinds of wonderful shows there. Deep South, Deep Sound. I'm just gonna call you Deep from now on. Is that all right if I just call you Deep? Partner, that is not my prerogative. I'm just another person who streams for one. You know what? I'm gonna do exactly what I said, which I hadn't done that. Deep South. I'm gonna give you a follow. Right now, if my computer will let me do that while I'm doing this. There we go. Let's give him. I'm sorry if I said him. I don't really know what your pronouns are. Yeah. So I shot you a good luck there. Did ReadyBot answer the question about what their favorite band was? By the way, ReadyBot. I've got to go with good old Leonard Skinner and Allman Brothers. There you go. ReadyBot likes Leonard Skinner and the Allman Brothers. Freebird. So anyway, we're getting down to the wire here, and Mr. Lathouse said I'd come watch for a week vacation at Chuckwood Resort. He, they. Okay, thank you, Deep. Um, and yeah, when I started the show, our theme here was Chuckwood Golf Resort, and we streamed from Chuckwood Golf Resort, and that was golfing was our kind of a theme. That's my golf bag over there in the corner. That's actually my golf bag right there. You can sort of see back there, back there. Yeah, there you go. And the Northern California's premier golf resort. That was it. Mr. Latin House, I am a fan of Skinnerd and Allman Brothers. It's wonderful stuff. I'm a simple man, but I'm going to do what I normally do here. I'm going to wind this down a little bit. Yeah, Hack right there brought in one of our early ons. What's my handicap? I'm a 23. All the Lopez's. I am not a great golfer, but I am a fun golfer. I was down to a 15. If I don't know, for those of you that are golfers, understand this. I was down to a 15, and then right before COVID kicked in, I was helping a buddy install a sound system in a one of these gyms, workout gym things, and I fell off a 16-foot ladder, and I fell off and I shattered my elbow. And this is all titanium in here now. Not all of it, but there's a titanium joint in there. And since then, I have not been able to get back down. It took me a while, obviously, before I could swing a club again. Oh yeah, I tell my wife, and I've actually tried to get Kajira. I've had Black Sheep Kajira as my wife. I've tried to get my wife involved in golf, but she doesn't have any care. But for me, I want to go out on the golf course. I want to hang out. I want to maybe smoke a cigar. I want to talk maybe a little smack with the guys, give them a hard time, and just being out there. And if you've ever seen pictures of the golf course I hang out, it's called Northwood Golf Course. And if you follow me on Facebook, you probably see that. It's up in the redwoods. It's a beautiful location. We were patterned. Chuckwood, this show, Chuckwood Golf Resort here, was patterned after Northwood Golf Resort. I'm going to show you a couple pictures here real quick before we flip fly out of here. I didn't check this ahead of time, so I don't know what's going to happen. But here we go. So these are a couple of pictures of Chuckwood Golf Resort, or actually Northwood is actually what it is. And this is where I get to spend my time. I also marshal up there 2 days a week on Mondays and Wednesdays. So sometimes you'll see me post about being at the golf course, and we get a cast of characters at our golf course. It's just a wonderful, beautiful course, built in 1928 by a gentleman called Alistair McKenzie. That's me and my wife right there, Kajira, it's just a beautiful, beautiful place. But I'll do one more picture here, and then we'll go back to our thing here and get ready to. Well, that's me smoking a cigar. You don't need to see that one. All right. So, one more time, I want to say, thank you all very much for being here with me. This is what I normally do. We're gonna do our little closing. We're gonna do our little, say goodnight. I'm gonna play some music for about an hour to kind of calm down, which is what I like to do. And but I can't thank you all enough for being here with me. Hack, thank you for the mod, your little heart out. Mr. Latin House, all the Lopez's, those of you Deep, thank you for being here. Welcome in. Hope you enjoy your time. Grey Dog, Nikki, thank you for being here. I see some lurkers there. Gemini, if you're lurking, if you're paying attention, thank you so much. Paul, thank you so much. My major lurker, Techrum, if you're there, thank you so much. And I will see you all soon.
Thanks for listening to Chat with Chuck. Have something you want Chuck to riff about? Send him a whisper and get ready to be entertained. I'm Greg Murray. Thanks for listening.